Sponsors.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. You are watching Think About It with Joshua Salaam. I'm at a different angle, different position for the intro because this is a special show. I'm always wearing this shirt, not always, but most of the time, called Penny Appeal USA in this nice orange. But today, I'm bringing Penny Appeal themselves here to talk to you. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be a nice show. We'll be right back with Think About It. All right, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Think About It with me, your host, Joshua Salaam. And as I say all the time, it has been brought to you by pennyappealusa.org. But today we decided not to just wear the shirt, we decided to bring in Penny Appeal themselves. So we have in the studio today, Brother Oussama. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm good. And I'm happy that you have came in, and we want to thank you for being a sponsor of the show. And I'm glad that we can put a face to the shirt.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Maybe one day it'll be your face here.
I hope not.
You know?
No, I hope not. I hope not.
So we've been saying it, pennyappealusa.org. We say it every show, in between every break. People see the commercials. But now, a lot of people may not click that button and really dig in and see what it's all about. Maybe they've only heard about some other charities in the U.S. So tell us about Penny Appeal USA. Why is it called Penny Appeal USA? Is there a Penny Appeal somewhere else? And how did this organization get started?
Well, assalamu alaikum to the viewers, first and foremost. I want to thank Deen TV for the partnership. We really appreciate the partnership. It's an honor to work with you guys. You do fantastic work. So
we're trying.
Alhamdulillah. Keep it up.
We're going to keep it up.
Inshallah. Penny Appeal USA. We're a 501c3 organization, which means we're a non-profit charity organization working in the field of development, international and domestic poverty alleviation efforts. So in a nutshell, we work to eradicate poverty. Sounds simple. It's a difficult mission to achieve. And we have programs, as I'm sure your viewers have seen in the advertisements, all over the world and here at home as well.
Now, I'm gonna get back to that word development that you said. I wanna focus on that a little bit. But what are its origins? Like, how did the concept come up? How did you guys grow, and how did you guys arrive here?
So Penny Appeal USA is part of an international body of Penny Appeal affiliates or family members. Penny Appeal started in the UK as an organization about 8 to 9 years ago, launched in a small town called Wakefield in northern England.
Okay, one of the many cities I haven't been to. I've been to London, Luton,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Manchester,
You went
Birmingham.
to Luton.
I went to Luton. Yeah. But why Wakefield? Is there like a...
The founder, really. I mean, apart from Penny Appeal, there's very little to do at Wakefield, of course. The founder, Adim Yunus, is from that community. It's from that town. And when he launched it, it's an incredible story, really. He is an entrepreneur, businessman, alhamdulillah, very successful one. Is a founder of singlemuslim.com, which is one of the largest European matrimony websites for Muslims.
Here too? I mean, everybody's familiar with Single Muslim. Single what?
Singlemuslim.com.
Singlemuslim.com.
Yeah. So his roots are in business, and so he had a small organization. They used to put their own family donations in and family zakat in. And he saw that on the online space there was a lot of interest in people supporting these good work and good projects. And from there, it kind of blossomed from an idea to being now a multi-million pound, multi-million dollar organization with offices in Australia, Sydney, Australia, South Africa, of course the US office, South Africa, Pakistan, Gambia, Canada, soon to come.
All right.
An office in Canada.
Okay.
So the founding is really, it's Penny Appeal, it's in the name. Penny being cents, of course, small change. Big difference is our logo.
It's not Pence Appeal, it's Penny Appeal.
It's Penny Appeal.
Right.
So the philosophy is that everybody can do a little bit to have a great impact on the world. Your small change and my small change together can really have a significant impact on those in need, hence the slogan.
That's one of the things that I know that Native Deen, Deen TV was a kind of a creation from Native Deen, but one of the things that Native Deen really promoted was that don't undermine the little bit, right? You think, oh, I got to give this much, I got to do this much, I got to build a masjid, and it's like, no, you can just literally, Allah could reward you with Jannah for just $1. You don't know. It could be $100, it could be $10,000, or it could be $1. You don't know.
You know, subhanAllah, in our tradition, the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the idea that one of the things that's most beloved to Allah Azza wa Jal is a small deed that's done regularly, right? The idea is that, you know, it's not about doing something good today and then falling asleep for a few weeks and then doing something good tomorrow.
Right.
Just do something very small, do it consistently on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and that's a really beloved act. And so our community, mashallah, it's full of fundraising dinners, for example, where you sit there and they start at $25,000 and you think, oh God, I can't afford to give $25,000. That's a lot of money, you know. Some of people are really not even making that much money. And so the idea is that actually we can all contribute, whether it's $1, whether it's $10 a month. All of our money put together can really have significant impact.
So there was a lot of thought that went into the title of Penny Appeal.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you want to be as inclusive as possible, and that's our idea, is that whether you're a student, right, whether you're retired, whether you're just starting out your career, you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to pay your student loans, we can all contribute a small amount of money and have a real impact in helping communities, families, out of poverty.
Now, how do you? All right, I got a couple things to do before we take a break, right? And I'm still going to get to that development piece, and I'm going to use the second half of our conversation after the break to really talk about specific projects that you guys are working on and how people can help. But how do you? It's one thing to say, you know, like you use the hadith to say, you know, give regularly. It's another thing for me to say, hey, you know, even $1 can do something, but. What does Penny Appeal do to kind of let people know and feel that my little bit is contributing something? Because really, it's on a matter of faith, right? If I give it, and you know, maybe I believe it. But is there anything that you guys do to let your donors know or keep them updated or keep them posted on your money? That $10 a month that you're giving, this is what it's doing.
We have 3 values as an organization. You'll see those values on our website. You'll see them in our printed material. Which one is transparency, 2 is sustainability, and 3 is data-driven.
Data-driven.
Data-driven. The transparency is where really I'll answer your question. The idea is that we need people to know exactly where their money is going. And you said something interesting, that it's often done on trust. And I think actually that's probably part of the problem of us as a community when it comes to giving. Amazing work out there, fantastic initiatives, but sometimes donors do rely on trust, or they fall back. And actually we say the opposite. We say it shouldn't just be based on trust. You should be giving based on what you read, IRS documents, based on informed donors is what we're looking for. And I encourage all Muslim donors out there to look at when they're giving to their masjid, when they're giving to NGOs, charities. There's a whole plethora of fantastic initiatives out there, but people should be informed. And actually one way of being informed is requesting feedback reports. Hey, I gave my $10 a month. What have you done with it? Where is my money going to? Which program? What impact is it having? And so accountability, right? And so if you go on our website, pennyappealusa.org, under reports tab, so if you go to About Us, under reports tab, you'll actually see a plethora of reports, whether people have donated the Qurbani, whether it's Ramadan, whether it's thirst relief, water wells. There is a whole list of completion reports there, and people can actually see where their change is going.
All right. Are you recording this? Is this being recorded? This has to be, you know, people got to know that this is where you can go. Now we're going to talk about development. Right, because when I asked you about Penny Appeal, the first thing you said is I can't remember verbatim, but you said something about we're into the development business or something like that. What were your exact words or something?
The exact words I won't remember, but we are in a field
of development,
international and domestic development, poverty alleviation. Yeah.
Right. So if you had to explain to somebody what that means, development, you know, because when I hear development, I'm thinking. They're building a new mall in my neighborhood, right? But when it comes to Penny Appeal development, what are you guys doing?
We're talking about building individuals, families, communities.
Building individuals.
Families and communities. Giving them the resources, the skills, the tools that they need to be able to escape poverty. How do we do that? We do that through access to the basics, water and food. You can't talk about international development when it comes to improving the socio-economic status of these communities, of these families, without, of course, giving them access to the very basics, which is food, which is water. Next step, food and water, then education. Ensuring that the young go to school, have a future, are able to then apply for jobs that will help them escape poverty. we're talking about access to income generation. So you may have an education, but what do you do once you leave in a market, once you leave school, in a market where there are no jobs available? If you live in a very, very rural part of West Africa or Southeast Asia, for example, how do you go on to make an income for yourself, for your family, for your community? So then food and water, education, and access to income generation, giving people the resources, the tools, the skills that they need to earn an income. These are really the three main themes, three main areas of how we hope to achieve this development that we're talking about.
Well, we'll probably, in the course of this conversation, we'll dig into to those a little bit more. But I want to, I was listening to NPR one time, and there was this guy, big government guy with finance. I forgot what he did, but he was something in the government where they dealt with, you know, the financial situation of America as a whole. And what he said is, I study poverty. He said he said actually we have a formula for poverty that we put into our calculations on the budget and everything. And he said, but to be honest, I don't really understand poverty. And he said he was very honest to say you have to live in poverty to really understand poverty. So I don't want to, and I'm saying that to lead into this, that I don't want to brush aside this comment. But some people, you know, use that old famous statement that we don't want to give people fish. We want to teach people how to fish, right? And because if you just give people fish, they're going to be dependent. They're going to be dependent on you. But if you teach them how to fish, they could be good forever. But I was speaking with another brother. He said, well, that's not really an accurate statement. He said, you got to teach somebody how to fish, but unless they like eating raw food, you got to teach them how to cook the fish. You got to teach them, you know, and if they're not around water, you know, like there's more to it than just teaching somebody how to fish.
We could unpack that statement for the next 2 hours, really. I mean,
okay. Well, we got close to 2 hours.
Number one is, what do you do with those people who actually you can't teach how to fish? The elderly, for example, the disabled, the very young, right? There are communities of people out there who just simply are not able because of their means, because of their health, to go out fishing.
Right.
What do you do with those individuals?
Right.
So I think it's very easy sometimes to say, oh, sustainability. But the reality is that there will always be communities of people or individuals or family members who will not be able to go out and fish. And so you have to provide for them.
Right.
You know, the disabled, the elderly, a widowed woman who's looking after 4 or 5 children. I think that's worth mentioning, number one. Number two is, okay, how do you teach someone how to fish?
Right.
The resources that are needed, the tools that are needed, the skills that have to be taught. All of that takes resources. And then 3, which you've mentioned already, is what do they do with that fish once they have it, right? How do you store a fish?
Right.
In
Can you
in
refrigerate it?
the desert of West Africa,
Right.
for example, in the heat of Pakistan, what do you do with the fish? How do you store it? How do you reserve it, preserve it? How do you cook it? I mean, it's really it's a statement that means well, but it's a statement that I think covers the amount of effort needed to really sustainably bring people out of poverty.
So what you say? We have about 2 minutes left in this in this segment, but for Penny Appeal and the work that they're doing to because you want to eradicate poverty. That's like the vision.
That's the
right?
vision.
However long it takes to get there. Now for you and your staff and your organization to understand poverty, what would you say are some of the things that you guys are doing and you're encouraging maybe the community to do? Because that understanding of what poverty is and what it feels like sometimes will help people give. If they think they're just given to this unsustainable thing, you know, people are always hungry, this and that, I'm tired of giving. But maybe if they understood poverty a little bit more, it might loosen up the pockets a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to discuss. I mean, one is the idea of what drives donors to give, right? And actually, different donors have different driving factors, right? For some people, it's empathy, right? They feel a real, genuine, deep empathy with those in need, and are therefore driven to donate or driven to support these initiatives because of that. You know, for others, it's simply perhaps a religious duty that I have to give zakat, I have to give sadaqah.
Right.
And
who do I give it to?
You know, who do I give it to?
Right.
Empathy aside, I've got to do my bit. I'll do my bit. No questions asked, right? For others, it's actually not the sadness and the misery that is often depicted when it comes to our sector, but it's the happiness. It's not about where these beneficiaries are coming from, it's where they're going to, right? So you'll see, for example, some organizations, they go for very sad, images of beneficiaries living in poverty and are using that emotional heartstring. We as an organization tend to stay away from that because we believe in the positive message of what we're delivering, which is actually not whether the beneficiaries, what they've suffered or where they're coming from, but
what your money
what your money can do. And we feel that a lot of people, I think especially a new generation of donor as well, really appreciate that their money is having an impact, and so they want to see the end product. They want to see that kid that goes to school. They want to see the community that's thriving and flourishing because of the access to water. Yeah, and so different donors are obviously motivated in different ways, and every organization has to think about their specific target audience and what they think will motivate them. But as Muslims, of course, I mean, we don't need much prodding when it comes to sympathizing with the poor. It's really part of our tradition. It's part of our culture. We have our own Prophet alayhi salam making dua that he wants Allah Azza wa Jalla on Yawm al-Qiyamah to raise him of the poor. Right? So standing in solidarity with the poor is really core, should be core of who we are as believers. And in a month of Ramadan, a month of fasting, I don't think we need much more to really empathize with those who don't have food and water, those who don't have access to education, orphans who don't have parents. I think there's a lot for us there to think about.
And we hope you don't need much prodding for you to give and for you to become a donor of Penny Appeal. So once again, we're going to take a short break, but in the meantime, you can visit pennyappealusa.org. Click on the buttons. He's going to tell you which buttons to click on, which projects to be a part of, and when we come back. So don't go nowhere. We're coming back with Brother Oussama from Penny Appeal. You're watching Think About It with Joshua Salaam. We'll be right back.
Water is an important part of life, and the difference between clean and dirty water is the difference between life and death. We know that the issue is not that there's a lack of clean water, but a lack of access to it. So we're on a mission to change that. Through Thirst Relief, we're building wells across Africa and Asia to provide millions with access to clean, safe, consumable water. The goal is simple: to provide clean water to every person who needs it. To irrigate gardens like these, horticultural gardens in Gambia. To make sure that no person ever has to drink dirty water ever again. So join us. Visit pennyappealusa.org/thirstrelief and donate today. Thank you.
I'm waiting for the time to start. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for coming back to Think About It with Joshua Salaam. I'm your host, and today, I know I wear the t-shirt. You guys like the orange. The orange is kind of kicking. I got my blue to go with it. I think my wife told me blue goes with orange. I'm not sure, but he's wearing blue, so my orange goes with him. And I'm here in the studio with Brother Oussama, and he's telling us all about Penny Appeal, telling us all about their projects. And actually, he's telling us a little bit more about Penny Appeal. If you listen to the last segment, we really dug deep into the philosophy of giving and what's behind it and what motivates people. And I hope you can kind of find where you fit and what is your motivation to give. And I'll be honest, Brother Oussama, that sometimes I do need some nudging. I remember going to a fundraising event one time. I was going there to perform, actually, which means that they were paying me. And I needed the money. I sure did need the money. And I was sitting in the audience, and that speaker, I don't remember his name, but the way he was talking and the way that he was reminding, I think it's about reminding people, because sometimes you forget. You got all this real news and fake news and all this stuff coming through, right? But he reminded me of some verses, and it just touched my heart a little bit, and I was like, I'm a fine. It wasn't a lot of money, but I was like, I can find $50, $100, $75 to give tonight. And I gave, but if it wasn't for that appeal, I wouldn't have gave.
Especially in an age where we feel sometimes bombarded by poverty, by sad stories, by negative news. I mean, it's constant. I mean, there was a time I can imagine 15, 20 years ago when really you'd only find out about poverty or be asked to help at a fundraising dinner or maybe at your local masjid, right? Today, we live in an age where it seems like everybody's asking for everything all the time on social media, WhatsApp. There's 1,000, a million great initiatives out there, everything from institutions, organizations, one-off initiatives, private individuals doing good work, that it can seem very overwhelming. And sometimes our response can be, there's so much that needs to be done that we end up doing nothing.
How do you prevent your donors from getting desensitized like that? I was just at a conference here, I think it was called Pros of the Quran, and one of the speakers said, as humans, we weren't designed to see the hurt all over the world. Maybe like in your little city or village, whatever, but now you're right. We live in a world where social media, you're literally every day, you know about a tragedy here, a shooting there, a earthquake there, and it's like, oh my God.
And that can be really disempowering.
Yeah.
It goes back to our previous session, actually, when we were talking about what motivates people to give. For us, it's really the positive message. I mean, if the viewers check out our videos, for example, go on our website, it's really a positive message being told, which is that you can have an impact. Actually, our donors do make an impact, and they are changing the world for good. And so, water wells are being dug, gardens are being watered, kids are going to school, orphans are being nourished and are finding love. And it's a real positive story. Because I agree with you. I think sometimes the negative messaging can get us all down. I mean, how many times do we wake up in the morning and first thing we do is check our phone and we read about the latest crisis or the latest tragic story, and it can really ruin the rest of your day because you feel disempowered. What do I do with this information now that I have it? And so I think how do we stay sane is of course spirituality, right? Remembering that la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa was'aha, right? That Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't burden a soul more than it can handle. That do as much as you can do, and so, be aware that there's.
So maybe one of the things that will give somebody peace, if you're saying that Penny Appeal has this positive messaging that they try to focus on, that when you're seeing all these commercials and this news of torture and pain and war and refugees, well, if I know that, well, alhamdulillah, I'm giving X amount of dollars a month towards Penny Appeal, and I know they're out there doing something positive, and in most of those areas, I'm doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's Ramadan, the power of prayer, of course. We believe in the power of prayer as Muslims, and it's very important. And I think sometimes that's the first thing we forget to do, and it's probably the most important thing to do. So, number one. And then number two, look at your finances. What is it that you can do to help?
Right.
How much can you commit to? It's Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ used to give all the time, but in Ramadan specifically, he was the most generous, right? And so we know that that's part of our tradition. And so, if there are some savings that you have, if there's, some good action that you've been holding back up, holding back on, really now's the time to do it. And then understanding that, look, what can I do post Ramadan? So you may give your sadaqah or your zakat in Ramadan, but what are you going to do for the next 11 months, right? And so just having a plan, saying, you know what, I'm going to budget. And sometimes we give kind of whatever's in the pocket, right? It's, I've got $5, here's $5 to the local masjid or to the local humanitarian organization. But what I encourage viewers to do is to really
and that's good,
budget,
but you're going to tell us a better thing to do.
Which is fantastic, right? Give whatever's in your pocket, give it, may Allah reward you, inshallah. But also to learn how to budget, right? That actually this is my monthly income, this is my outgoing, and as part of your outgoing, your Comcast or your Xfinity or whatever it is, also have amount of money that is going to humanitarian causes for your brothers and sisters who are living in real abject poverty in most of the world. The reality is that 1 in 9 people in the world today go to bed hungry on an empty stomach. Right? That's chronic starvation, chronic hunger. Right? We know that. What do we do about it? Are we committing a certain amount of money every month?
And that's not because they're fasting. That's because they don't know where their next meal is coming from.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get specific now. All right, so we got 10 minutes left, 9 minutes left. Tell us about one of the programs, one of the areas that you really want us to know about, that you said it is Ramadan. We're encouraged to give, and I'm telling you, sometimes people need reminding.
Absolutely.
So remind us about some work that Penny Appeal is doing in a particular area, whether it's building wells, and I think I've seen you on a commercial. Did I see you on one of the?
Correct, Rohingya.
Rohingya, yeah. See, it's all one of these commercials that you guys are seeing. This is the guy. He was there. Yeah. So tell us about maybe a few of the projects you want us to know about.
That commercial specifically, we were in Bangladesh. We responded quickly to the Rohingya emergency appeal. We were on the ground. The International Penny Appeal family. Imagine 700,000 people or more overnight coming from Myanmar into Bangladesh.
Wow. 700,000.
Yes, at least, in a community that is already impoverished. And so how do you feed 700,000 people 3 meals a day?
Right.
How do you provide them with access to water? What do you do with the children? The vast majority, 70% of this 700,000 that we're talking about are under the age of 18. What do you do with these children in terms of education, right? In terms of safety? And so that advert that the viewers are seeing that's running on Deen TV is our Rohingya emergency response. And I encourage viewers that if you are interested in supporting the Rohingya appeal, go to pennyappealusa.org and you can find out about what we've done so far for our Rohingya brothers and sisters, and you can find out how you can support it. In terms of Ramadan, it goes back to what I was saying about a holistic approach. And so our programs follow that holistic approach. Step number 1 is food. Feed our world, especially in the month of Ramadan, where imagine not having food, not knowing where your next meal is coming from. But on top of that, you're also fasting and you're not guaranteed an iftar, right? You don't know where your next meal is coming from. And so Feed Our World is our first program.
And people aren't worried about education when they don't know when their next meals come from. You can talk all the day about skills, let me teach you how to fish, and say, but I need something now.
Think
to
about
eat.
college, when we used to go to college or high school and you're hungry.
Right.
The teacher could be giving you gems all day long, but if you're hungry, you're not focused, right? So absolutely, it starts with food, basic nutrition, right? Making sure that children, families, individuals get enough to eat, especially in this month of Ramadan. It's called Feed Our World. Visit, viewers can go to just Google Feed Our World, Penny Appeal, or go to our website, pennyappealusa.org. You'll find out all about Feed Our World. It's $45 a month is what we're asking for. For $1.50, that's all it costs to provide a meal, right? $1.50 is how much it costs us to provide a meal. We're doing this project in over 30 countries. And so we're talking over 1 million individual meals that are being distributed in this month alone. And that's a program we run throughout the year. We also have holistic programs for Feed Our World. It's not a question of just giving out food boxes, but actually giving individuals horticultural gardens to manage. For example, in Gambia and Pakistan, we have horticultural gardens that enable women-led families, widows, to support themselves and their families by growing produce, fresh vegetables,
It's
herbs.
like using solar power or what?
Right,
How
so
does it work?
we have solar powered wells there that provide the water for the irrigation. So the first program is Feed Our World, which is about providing people with food that they need as a basic necessity.
And that's not one particular project like Rohingya. Feed Our World is like a program where you're just feeding
30 countries.
30 countries, okay.
Some of the poorest communities in these 30 countries. And some of it is quick relief, it's food boxes, and some of it is sustainable horticultural gardens.
I see, okay.
Irrigated gardens where families can grow their own food and actually sell produce in the local market as well for an income.
Right.
So that's Feed Our World, and I really encourage donors to support this project. It's $45 a month. It's $1.50 a meal. You can sign up to monthly giving, making sure that these communities get access, to these essential nutrients.
Okay.
Project number 2 is water, right? Food goes with water, right? We're expected to drink, depends who you talk to these days, it's always changing, but at least
8 glasses a day.
8 glasses a day, right? How do you do that in a community where the water you drink is completely polluted and you get waterborne diseases like cholera?
The more you drink, the
sicker you
quicker
get.
you'll die. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how can we talk about income generation and sustainability and development when people are drinking water that's making them sick, which means that they can't be economically productive as individuals or as communities? Our project is called Thirst Relief.
Thirst relief.
So project number 2 is Thirst Relief.
Feed Our World, thirst relief.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
11 countries, and we dig water wells, which are deep water wells. We do hand pumps. We have solar-powered plants that actually provide water for over 1,000 people, which is large communities, villages. And so I really encourage donors to look at our website for Thirst Relief. Again, you can just Google Thirst Relief. It will come up. Or you can go to the Thirst Relief tab at pennyappealusa.org. There's a range of wells that you can support. It starts with $425 for a well in Pakistan and Bangladesh. It goes all the way up to $25,000, which is for a very large solar-powered plant, which is providing water through solar power and also electricity to local communities. And donors can give on a monthly basis. For example, $425 you can do as a one-time payment, or you can break that down into a monthly amount, $35 a month. for that.
Do you think this is something like schools, like for the big one, the 25,000 one that feeds like a whole bunch of people?
Great question.
Do schools like say, oh, we want to do that, and they fundraise and try
Absolutely. We have individuals actually who, especially in the age of Launch Good, right? Launch Good is a fantastic initiative, by Brother Chris. It's a great website where you can actually go and raise money through your network, through your friends, your families, your fellow students, your colleagues at work. And so, yes, absolutely. If there's viewers out there today who are watching who say, you know what, I may not have $10,000, I may not have $500, but I'm going to go to Launch Good. I'm going to commit to raising $500 through my friends, through my family. It's a fantastic initiative. You get a link. You can share that link on your social media. You can share that link on WhatsApp, on Facebook, via email, and really get your uncles and family, cousins, brothers, siblings to contribute. And so absolutely, this is a question of not only what can you do to give from your wealth, but actually what can you do with the network that you have, right? And raising money for a good cause. And so second project is Thirst Relief.
Thirst Relief.
And I encourage viewers to dig a well. The great thing about Thirst Relief is that we can dig a well in honor of your parents, in honor of someone who's passed away. You will have a very personalized plaque which will say donated by or on behalf of. You will receive a completion report which will show you that specific water well.
That's good.
Yeah.
So those are the two main projects.
Food, Feed Our World, water is Thirst Relief. The third one this Ramadan is Orphan Kind.
Orphan Kind.
Orphan Kind. Orphan Kind we're running in over 9 countries, and there's 2 elements to our Orphan Kind program. The first is sponsorship. Okay, sponsoring an orphan this Ramadan, everybody knows the importance of looking after orphans in Islam, right? It's so core to our faith. The Prophet ﷺ, the famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ who says that somebody who sponsors an orphan and the Prophet ﷺ will be like this on the Day of Judgment, right? Core to our faith. How many ayahs do we have in the Quran where Allah Azza wa Jal talks about looking after the yatim, the orphan, looking after their wealth, looking after their well-being? So I really encourage again viewers to look at Orphan Kind with Penny Appeal. It's only $30 a month. That's 30. That's $1 a day. Now you might think, how do we support an orphan for $30? That's not enough money. What we do is actually a communal model. Unlike many organizations, we don't offer a one-to-one relationship. So sometimes, some organizations will say $60 a month, and that will be your orphan. We've seen that actually $60 or $80 or even $90 a month is not enough to support an orphan, to give them a modern, clean home to live in, to give them the nurturing love of a foster mother, to give them school uniform and pay for schooling in some of the best schools in the regions that we're operating in.
You're defining what it means to take care of an orphan. So maybe you're raising the bar of us taking care of an orphan isn't just giving them food or something. We're doing this holistically.
It's holistic, absolutely. And so that's why we do $30 a month, but it's a communal model. And so your $30 and my $30 will be put into a pot together, and with that pot of money, we look after all of our orphans. The orphan may cost us $60 one month, but what happens when that orphan gets sick and needs medical care? It may cost us $90 or $100 the next month. And so we have a communal model, and we encourage donors to give $30, $60, $90, whatever you can give. That sponsorship will go into a pot of money that will support thousands of orphans in over 9 countries. So we have the sponsorship. The second aspect of Orphan Kind is our Orphan Kind villages. We actually build orphan complexes. Imam Johari was on the show not too long ago, and he went to visit one of our complexes in Gambia, West Africa. We're talking about complexes that have 10 homes. Each orphan home houses 10 individual orphans. They have a full-time foster mother to give them the social, love, emotional support that they need. There is a playground. There is a health facility, there is a prayer worship place, a masjid in the compound. So these children really grow up not in the kind of orphanages that we tend to think of where there's 50 people in a room, dirty, impoverished, but actually living in state-of-the-art homes in a beautiful green complex compound. And we're actually building a second complex now in Pakistan, an hour and a half north of Islamabad. So if you're interested in the Orphan Kind program, you can support an orphan for $30, $60, $90 a month, or you can help us build these orphan complexes, and the website gives you both options. So if you go to pennyappealusa.org, go under Orphan Kind, and you can see there, inshallah, you can look at the Orphan Kind complexes and give us an opportunity, help us to build these villages, or you can sponsor an orphan.
Man, if you're not encouraged to give now, after hearing all of that, that Penny Appeal is doing some amazing stuff and sometimes some different stuff. They're really trying to reevaluate poverty and take care of people initially and take care of them long term. And you heard the 3 programs for the food program, for the thirst program, and for the orphan kind program. We're going to remind you about that when we come back from break. You got to get involved. Give a few pennies or a billion pennies, but give something and do what you can. You're listening to Think About It with Joshua Salaam and Brother Oussama, all brought to you by pennyappealusa.org. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Since August 25th of this year, over 600,000 individuals have fled from Myanmar into bordering Bangladesh. They've witnessed crimes against humanity. The United Nations calls what happened in Myanmar textbook definition of genocide, textbook definition of ethnic cleansing. We've been here for the last few months, providing them with access to clean drinking water, providing them with access to primary healthcare services, helping them build their shelters, as well as giving them weekly food distributions. We can't fathom what they've witnessed. The ones that have arrived into Bangladesh are the lucky ones. They're now residing in between the 22 to 25 official refugee camps that have now been established. With your continued support, we want to secure their future. We want to stay for the foreseeable future so that we can dig more water wells, so that we can provide them with more medication and more medical advice, so that we can help build more shelters, especially with the winter coming and the cold setting in. Please visit our website to find out more about our work and to support us with your generous donations. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming back to Think About It with Joshua Salaam. I'm here with Brother Oussama from Penny Appeal. As you can see on the shirt, they're the host of the show and this big sponsor of Deen TV. And I want to give you a visual. Like I get these visuals when somebody says something about the Prophet, right? So when he says that, you know, the person that takes care of an orphan will be like this with the Prophet in Jannah, I imagine like getting to Jannah and then you see the Prophet, he's like, hey man, come here, mashallah, and getting a hug and getting embraced by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's kind of what we want. So we wanted to give a few minutes to just give you a review of what Oussama was talking about with Penny Appeal and the projects that you can get involved in so that inshallah, when we enter Jannah, you're going to get embraced by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why don't you tell me a little bit summary?
So just to summarize, it's the month of Ramadan. We really encourage everybody to do their bit. It's the month where lots of you will be interested in giving zakat, in giving sadaqah. I really encourage you, do some research. You may have never heard of Penny Appeal USA before. This is a great opportunity for you to learn a little bit about what we do. What is our ethos? How do we do things? So do visit the website pennyappealusa.org. I'm aware that we haven't actually mentioned the phone line too, so you can always call in if you have questions. We have staff on standby. That's 202-851-2112. So that's 202-851-2112. Any questions that you may have about zakat, about sadaqah, about some of the projects or the programs that we're running, I really encourage you, inshallah, to find out more about what we do. We have really, like I said, 3 principles: transparency, sustainability, and data-driven. All of the reports you can find on our website, pennyappealusa.org. Small change, big difference. That's our slogan. That's really the ethos of who we are. You can all make a massive impact on the world, a positive impact on the world by giving a small amount of money. That might be $30 a month to sponsor an orphan child. That might be $35 a month to dig a well in over 11 countries. That might be $45 a month as part of the Feed Our World program. So do check out the website, find out more, give us a call on 202-851-2112 and we'll happily take any of your questions.
All right. And as the shirt says, Penny Appeal USA. Got to go check them out. And, you know, I normally am a giving person, but this time I'm going to take the victory from him. So we're going to play the game that you guys always tune into. Brother Oussama, we're going to see how he does. And why don't you play a game at home? For every word that I get him to guess, you guys get somebody to sponsor one of the programs. So either the Feed Our World program, or the, what's the Thirst Relief program, or the Orphan Kind program. So if he gets one right, maybe do the Orphan Kind. If I get one right, you can do the Orphan. Make it fun for you guys at home. Play along somehow, some way. All right, it's the month of Ramadan. Let's do this. Are you ready?
You put me on the spot. Let's do this.
Okay. My clue for you on the first word is swing.
Playground.
Yes.
How many chances do I get?
You won, but
Okay.
hey, he took two, so hey, we get it.
Okay.
That means somebody out there, you're going to sponsor. What was it for me? I think it was the Feed Our World program. All right, so somebody. Tune in right now, go to the website, and do the Feed Our World in the month of Ramadan. It's 1-0. Go ahead, your turn.
FIFA World Cup.
Wow, that's a lot of words. You only get one word, but that's okay. FIFA World Cup. So I'm going to say soccer? No. Okay. Am I going to get a buzz? Thank you very much.
That was horrible.
All right, second word for me. Egypt.
Country.
No. Your turn. You're on the same word now. You're going to give me another clue for that first word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now the first one was FIFA World Cup. Okay, so the second clue.
Playing.
Okay, FIFA World Cup, playing. And it's not soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But FIFA World Cup is related to soccer. Football. You know, I thought, the only people say soccer is Americans.
Right,
The rest of the world says football. Okay, my first clue was Egypt. Next clue is mummy.
Pharaohs.
Close. We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. FIFA World Cup playing.
I'll say the Colosseum.
Coliseum. FIFA World Cup Coliseum. Olympics?
No.
I know that. See, now I feel like the audience is there like, you know the word. You got to say the word. I don't know. I hope it's not something English or British.
No.
No? Okay. I said Egypt. I said mummy. Now I'm going to say triangle.
Hieroglyphics.
No. I'm right there. All right, your turn.
It's a tough one. Ramadan brain kicking in. Okay, I say AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah. So think
As
about
a clue to the first
right. How do they all link?
FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
Playing. Coliseum. AT&T, which is a phone company.
Right. It's a phone company, but what do the phone companies do? They sponsor.
Man. FIFA World Cup playing.
What is a Colosseum?
What is a Coliseum? It's a building.
Wait, what's that building called?
FIFA
FIFA World Cup.
AT&T. You mean when they put the name on the building?
No.
I don't know, man. Okay, so I got to say something. FIFA World Cup, Coliseum, playing, AT&T.
Where does FIFA World Cup take place?
Oh, I don't know. I don't play it enough, I guess. It takes place in a stadium.
Yay!
Hey,
Alhamdulillah.
there we go.
Bingo. AT&T
stadium.
Stadium is what came to my mind.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. It threw me off. But that was a tough one. All right, so it's 1-1.
Okay.
But I'm getting off my second word with this clue right here. You had Egypt, mummy, triangle, sphinx,
pyramids.
There we go. I knew it.
Cool.
All right, your turn.
Mexican.
Spanish. No. Okay. This is my third word, so
cool.
This new word. Laugh.
Joy.
Mashallah.
Got it?
No, it's a good guess though.
My first guess, my first clue was Mexican. This is second clue, food.
Burrito.
No.
But I'm close. It's only so many Mexican foods out there. All right. No offense to the Mexican. You have a lot of delicious foods. All right. My first clue is laugh. Next clue is show.
Comedy.
Yes. Mashallah. Hey, that means 3 people out there have sponsored a Feed Our World program. That's what I'm going for. So if you haven't done it yet, I got 3. Ask your dad or your wife or your husband or your child to get on it and sponsor a Feed Our World program. That's 3 I should have out there. That's what we should see on our website. All right, your turn.
So I said Mexican.
Yes. And
I
you
said food.
Round. Tortilla.
No.
Taco.
Yeah. Give him that one.
Give it to me.
Perfect.
Taco. Taco's round?
Sorry. Well, it's round when it starts off. No?
Yeah, it's round starts off.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What do I know? I'm just a Brit.
So that's 2 words for you. You got 2 words?
Correct.
All right. So we should have 2 people out there that have done the water, the thirst, quench.
Thirst relief.
Thirst relief. We should have 2 people who have sponsored thirst relief out there. All right, here we go. Spider.
Insect.
Okay. Nope.
Okay.
Your turn.
Next word. Okay.
Is this your third word?
For you? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Third word. Sharp.
Knife.
It's not knife.
It's not knife. Okay. My first clue was spider.
Correct.
You said what?
I said insect.
Okay. So spider still holds. Huge.
Spider huge.
Or you could reverse those words.
A huge spider. The fasting's really kicking in now.
It is almost time for iftar here in the States, but yes.
Okay, a huge spider.
Sure. What you got?
Tarantula.
Yes.
Okay.
Mashallah. All right, that is 4. We're going to promote this. I'm going to tell you how you did. Somebody out there, I should have 4 sponsors to the Feed Our World program at least. All right.
Don't forget, you can call. People are waiting on the other line. 202-851-2112. You can sponsor a child. You can do a Feed Our World sponsorship as well, or you can dig a well through Thirst Relief.
That's right. Your turn.
Okay. Party.
Is this the second clue?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we'll go back. Sorry, you didn't get that one. So first clue was, ignore that party.
Okay.
First clue was sharp, and you said knife. And then my second clue is long.
Sharp and long. Sword.
Bingo.
All right.
Cool.
Very good. There we go. Keep them racking up. Was it 202? What's the number?
202-851-2112. Give us a call.
Somebody else should be calling every time we go. This ain't easy up here. We working. All right, here we go. You got tarantula.
Okay.
Now I'm going to say this is tough. Cougar.
Cat.
Nope. Your turn.
I don't even know if a cougar's a cat or not.
Yeah, it's
Is
probably
it?
the cat family. Yeah.
Don't judge me on this, okay? Okay, my first clue was party for this word.
Okay. Oh, well, you already said that one, so now give me another one.
Okay. Festival.
Eid.
Nope.
First clue is cougar.
Correct.
Next clue is going to be car.
Jaguar.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. That's
you.
all my words.
Oh,
I
really?
want. But what you got? What's party?
Don't I win for guessing them right?
No,
Doesn't
everybody
work that way?
says that.
I mean, who sets the rules here? I guessed them right and he wins.
But today, Penny Appeal wins because for every correct answer, somebody out there, bi'idhnillah, because it's the month of Ramadan, was either doing a Feed Our World, they were either doing the thirst relief, or they were either doing Orphan Kind, right? So we're going to check our website and check Penny Appeal's website. You guys, inshallah, are going in there, tuning in, and they're also calling in where?
202-851-2112. That's 202-851-2112. You can make a donation over the phone. You can ask any questions you want to ask.
Now we have a minute left.
Okay.
It's all you. Is there anything you feel like we missed? Is there any last thing that you think would encourage somebody sitting out there watching? So, because people are just like tuning in, they're pressing it at work, they're watching a little bit of the show.
We touched on this, but I can't focus enough on the amazing impact that people's donations have. And I think really most of the time donors don't think about that. A donor will give money with the best of intention, get on with their lives, without sometimes accessing or seeing the impact that their work is having. And short of basically putting everybody on a plane and taking them to the field, which of course is logistically impossible, there's sometimes very little that we can do to show donors that impact. Of course we make videos, we share pictures and we share reports online, and all of that is available online. But I just want to emphasize that your money does make an impact, that there are people tonight who are eating iftar because of your donations, that there are people today drinking pure, fresh, clean water because of your donations. There are orphans going to bed in a loving environment, in a lovely, modern, clean home because of your donations. That's and right. It works. There's so much pessimism around the world today, and we've discussed why, and it's understandable. But the reality is that we are agents of change, we are agents of change, and we can have an impact through lots of different ways. One of those ways that we can have a positive impact is through the financial resources that Allah Azza wa Jal has given us. This rizq that Allah Azza wa Jal has honored us with, we have a duty and responsibility to help others and share our rizq with them. So again, I just really encourage donors, visit the website pennyappealusa.org, find out about who we are, sponsor a child this evening, donate for a water well inshallah, or give us a call 202-851-2112, and inshallah make a donation, and may Allah Azza wa Jal accept your donations.
Ameen, ameen. And if nothing else, just to learn more about the organization, call him up. He says somebody will be on the other line. You can ask questions. You can do something to build that trust so that you know that when you give, it's actually going to go and do the work. pennyappealusa.org. That's what we were talking about today. You have to click the button. You have to do the work. And we pray that Allah accepts it and Allah rewards you with entering into Jannah with ease, with no accountability, forgives everything that you've done, and puts you like this with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You've been watching Think About It with Joshua Salaam. I'm your host. We want to thank pennyappealusa.org for bringing it to you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
This Deen TV video was made possible in part by Penny Appeal USA, Small Change, Big Difference, and by Recycle Processes Incorporated.